Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CanadianGameDevs.com podcast, episode number 176, going up on podcast services February 8th, 2021 for patrons, February 10th for everyone else. My name's Steven, spelled with a PH and an A, so you'd think it's Stefan. It's not, it's Steven. Joining me, of course, the other main dude behind CanadianGameDevs.com, Steven and Steve. It's not confusing that way because there's less letters. You know, Steve?
That's why we do it.
That's the way we do it on this show, which, of course, is about covering all the games made in Canada and the people who create them. We're supported by our amazing, beautiful, voluptuous patrons over on patreon.com/CanadianGameDevs. Go back us there for 2-day early access to the pod, game key giveaways, discounts for Canadian gaming events like EGLX, rest in peace, shoutouts at the end of every episode, and the knowledge that you're helping us keep the lights on, covering the Canadian game dev scene. EGLX isn't dead, just in-person events are dead for now.
Yeah, I was going to say, EGLX 2020 happened. I'm sure 2021's happening.
Yeah, it was all the esports was online and stuff, but yeah, I'm sure they're working on something. I'm sure. XP Game Summit was a project too that I think got pushed back, so maybe that'll happen this year.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was supposed to happen right. Yeah, I remember that. We were talking to Jason about that, and that was supposed to happen like right at like April or something.
Right as it started.
Right as this new COVID world.
Steve, if you back us at the highest tier, we will plug whatever you want on the podcast. Like our top tier supporter, Eric Beer, you should check out thebotbook.com for all of their work, thebotbook.com. They're making games, they're making connections, they're doing cool stuff. They're in our Discord, being lovely, maybe doing a game jam with us this year. Who knows what the future holds? I don't. Steve doesn't, especially when it comes to sports. Right, Steve? I'm so mean to Steve. I hope patrons and listeners know that I'm not.
I had two wrong picks.
That's a 100% inaccuracy, or I guess like a 0% accuracy on the podcast.
All right, so Saturday. So it's Saturday before the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I'll say. What did I say last week? So I'm gonna change it.
I think you said Tampa because Mahomes was being weird.
Yeah, I'll go with Tom Brady. Tom Brady will win.
Tom Brady and the Gronk doing it with another team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So we'll get it to a possible 33%. When you're right 33% of the time, you're wrong 66% of the time.
That's Steve's shoe-in
of the week. That's a pretty big shoe. I don't trust this guy. We, of course, also want to plug all the Indigenous supports that you can contribute to put your money where your mouth is if you care about the Indigenous movements being shit on by our provincial and federal governments. Land Back Lane in Ontario is gearing up for a big winter push to stop developments on their treaty land. Wet'suwet'en out in BC are fighting for protection against pipelines that are being built across their clean, fresh, not ruined by colonialism land. And the Micmac out here in Nova Scotia are selling their lobsters that they have left over and gearing up for hopefully a fishing season next year, as is their treaty rights, without a bunch of white guys trying to kill them and burn their shit down. So if you want to help any of those movements, links top the show notes. And check out Indigenous Devs on YouTube. They highlight Indigenous game developers who are making games. 2 jobs to plug at the top of the show here, Steve. Sago Mini is looking for a data engineer, a Unity game developer, and a talent acquisition manager. That's at their Toronto location. Sago Mini has the cutest logo we've ever shown on the site, in my humble opinion, as someone who can't design logos for shit. They are also... I got that. Also, PopReach in Vancouver is looking for a lead game programmer, a senior game designer, a user acquisition manager, and a product manager. If you think any of those roles would be good for you, you can go to CanadianGameDevs.com/jobs for all the information about how to apply, who they're looking for, all that great stuff. And for events, Steve, just a couple. Unity Club is happening Monday. So if the patrons are listening to this, you can go show off your Unity project with some folks at Dames Making Games Toronto. People hear Dames Making Games and they think it's a girls only thing. It's not. It's open to everyone, but it's a very inclusive, positive space. So don't be a dick. And if you have a Unity project you want to show off or you want to see what other people are working on, you should check that out. 6:30 p.m. Monday. Dirty Rectangles will be back Wednesday, February 10th, 8 p.m. Eastern time over on twitch.tv/Dirty Rectangles, showing off cool, weird, fun, different games to their audience. Interactive Society of Nova Scotia is having a cloud accounting session with Insert Coin Accounting, who we've done an interview with, talking about how to do all your accounting on the cloud, specifically geared at game developers, which is something we get loads of people, Steve, asking us about. Usually it's lawyers and accounting advice, and specifically for game studios and indie developers. So if that's something that interests you, you don't have to be a Nova Scotia-based developer. The tickets are still up. That's happening February 11th, 5 to 7 Atlantic time, 6 to 8 Eastern time. The annual general meeting for Games Week Games Toronto happening at the end of the month. Go become a member. Go to that. Yeah, it was efficient, Steve. That was like 5 minutes. Got through all the paperwork. You know the sound effect I'm thinking about, where you shuffle papers on the desk, like the news anchors do that. That's what the top of the show is. We shuffled the papers. They're in a nice stack now. They're on the desk.
Yeah, because then you set them aside. It's like how there used to be the in and out piles or whatever.
Yes, it's exactly like that.
Yeah, shuffle them up. No one really has papers anymore. No. The other day I needed a piece of paper just to write something on, and it took me like 3 minutes to just find something.
I have a printer on my desk, and I just pull it out of the bottom whenever I need one. But yeah, HP does this thing that I don't think's working for them, where you sign up. It's like a internet connected printer, and if you use more than 10 pages worth of ink a month, they charge you. But I print something like every 2 months, and it's like an ink cartridge subscription service. So whenever you run out, they just send you one, and it's based on how much you use a month. And I've refilled my ink like maybe twice in like 3 or 4 years I've had this printer, and I've never paid for it because I'm in this program where they assume I'm going to be printing a lot and charging me, but I don't. So when I run out of ink, they just send me a new one. I don't understand how it works, but I'm not complaining.
That's fair.
Yeah.
In Guelph, I used to just get all my printer stuff refilled at the mall. It cost me $9, and I did it 3 times during my entire university career. So printers are dumb.
Printers are dumb. Ink per milliliter is one of the most expensive substances civilians can purchase. Really? It's absurd.
Ah, that's interesting. I know it used to be text messages.
For
if you paid if you had to charge over because back in the day, maybe you don't know this.
I don't probably know.
There was a limit on text messages. This is 2005, 2006.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. And if you went over, it was $10 for 100 messages or something ridiculous. And when you worked it out to the size of a normal text message, 3 kilobytes or something like that, you were paying an insane amount or something along those lines. I don't know. But now just everything's free, or not free, but unlimited.
I remember my dad had...
This is before data. This is before there was data plans, or data plans were 50 megabytes. So the way they got you your money was with text messages limits.
Sleazy. Canadians pay more for internet and cell phone plans than any country on the planet.
I know. Is that because of our stupid size and ruralness?
No, it's because there's two companies, and they have essentially divvied up the country and just charge whatever they want.
But the states only has 2 or 3 companies. It's just Comcast and Verizon or whatever. So I feel it's not that.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm not sure why it is.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it is just Rogers and Bell, and then anyone who really tries to intersect with that, they just still have to use Rogers lines or Bell lines. Tech Savvy just uses Bell lines or Rogers. I don't know. And anyways, the point is this country sucks.
Country sucks. But the games made here are good. Some of them. Let's start with the news, Steve. Nuts.
A lot
it's
of
out
them
now
are good.
On Steam and Switch. I tried playing it on Apple Arcade, didn't like it, but I have it now on Steam now, so we should stream that. And you have it on Switch. We're going to provide impressions next week, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Toxicant, from our very own Snug Sound, is now out of early access.
Oh, nice.
Not now. It's out of early access Friday, March 5th. So depending on when you're listening to this. The last big update, Friday, March 5th, will mean that the game goes up to full price, $99 USD, but they're doing a launch discount, 10% for the first week. If you don't know what Toxicant is, it's a roguelite, Steve, T-E. First person, very, very distinct art style, PS1 style, like adventure survival game. You're in a mine. There's gas everywhere. Bad stuff's happening. It's good. And I think you should check it out. Rocket Rumble developed.
Wait,
you have
plug,
something else to say on Toxicant?
Well, I reached out on Twitter just asking for people to pimp their patrons because I wanted to sort of
because ape together strong.
Ape together strong, exactly. That actually was sort of it. I was like, I'm making some money in bank off GameStonk. I should pay this forward, and then now I'm down, but I'm still gonna do it. Whatever, a couple bucks a month. So I'm a patron of theirs, and you get one of their games for free when you become a patron. So
nice.
I don't know if Toxicant is part of that, but highly recommend.
Check out Cosmo Cat.
Yeah,
Cosmo Cat's the studio. Snug Sound Adam
I think is like his.
Is their like handle in our Discord?
Yeah.
They're cool.
So.
They're based out here in Nova Scotia, East Coast, Beast Coast. Oh, for nuts, I didn't say, but their publisher is in Saskatoon, and one of their developers is in Montreal, which is why we're covering it. People know. You're listening to the CanadianGameDevs.com podcast. If we're talking about a game in the news, it's Canadian. Like I assume people know that, but it never hurts to say.
Like our next we did have that time where we wishlist 2 like non-Canadian games.
Yeah, they got me. They replied to me, and I didn't do my due diligence, but that hasn't happened since. So, fool me once.
That we know of.
Shame on me. Rocket Rumble, Steve, is having a closed beta starting February 12th. They're based in St. Catharines. Of course, one of our previous Wishlist This segments. There'll be 1 track and 4 characters to play through. If you don't know, it's using, it looks like to me, as someone who doesn't work there or know what their process is, it looks like they're using that tech from Terminal Velocity, like the flying through the air tech, and they're turning it into like a racing battle game on like these cool tracks with like corgis and spacesuits. It's cool. And if you want to check it out for free, you should play this beta coming up. Join their Discord to get more information about that. That'll be in the news link in the show notes.
I got an email. Oh yeah, here it goes. Yeah, here it is. I got the email.
Rocket Rumble. Great name too. I'm a fan of alliteration, Steve. Which is key to a game's success, I think. Think of your favorite game, Steve. What is it?
Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Last of Us, Resident Evil 2.
Never mind, none of those work. Anyway, I like alliteration, and I think Rocket Rumble is a good name because it instantly something. There's a rocket involved. I'm rumbling, which implies competitiveness. It gives you a feel for the game just hearing it.
It's fair. So what are your favorite games? Do they have those names? Last of Us, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Right? You're like, there's not many left.
Thievius Raccoonus, Sly Cooper.
Okay, true.
Wind Waker. I had a list the other day because I was trying to argue with a friend that alliteration's good. I should find that text message and see if there's. Yeah. It's anyway. Easier to remember too. I think alliteration helps people remember things.
Which one's Sly 2 is your favorite one?
Sly 2 I think is my favorite one. I was trying to do that meme, Steve. Have you seen that meme of like it's like the white background with black text for like the game you hate and everyone loves, the game you love and everyone hates, your favorite game.
Yeah, because I told you to make me one where it's just all Fallout 76.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll do that for the meme. And yeah, I was like, what is my favorite game? It changes all the time. Like, ask me tomorrow, it'll be a different game. But I really like Sly 2. Sly 2 is really good. It's the one where they go to Canada, and that's my favorite level.
I think for a long time, it was Ocarina of Time. And then when
that's so
when
basic,
Last of Us
Steve.
came out. What do you mean?
That's so basic. Everyone's favorite game, if they were born whenever you were born, is like Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, or like Half-Life, maybe. I don't know if they had a PC and they were weird.
Ocarina of Time still like holds up though. Mario 64 does not.
As someone who didn't play them when they released and played them later, if anyone is going to go back and play Ocarina of Time, please play the 3DS version that fixes all the camera and then tweaks a lot of stuff. It's much better.
Yeah, and did the 3DS version have this one? Try to hunt down the GameCube one, which has the Master Edition and the temples all like rejigged. It's awesome.
Okay, those are our picks for how to play Ocarina of Time.
Which is what everyone wanted.
Roguestar Rescue, Steve, is out of early access now. Last time we reported on this news, I kept saying it was out. It's not. I was wrong. It's out now. Out of early access. Big. We need to play this game,
for that
Steve.
too.
We do. We need to play together online.
Oh shit! I missed the Sentience demo. Wasn't that this week?
I think it's still on. It's the Game Fest. It's the, what do they call it? Because there's like, last year it was summer, spring. Yeah, right now it's the Steam Game Festival. It's on until February 9th, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, there's like hundreds of games with demos. There's live streams on the front page of that event, which I'll be on that on Monday with our lead designer Curtis playing Sentience. So go over to the Sentience Steam page on Monday, maybe I think around noon Eastern. I'll be playing that.
How do I get this demo? Like I'm on the
Oh,
Steam
so if
page
you're ever on the Steam page for a game with a demo, it's on the right side under like the features, like single player Steam cards.
Download demo. There you go.
Big, yeah. Play the thing. All right. Yeah, so you should check out Roguestar Rescue out now on Steam, and let me know what you think. We'll play it. We could play together on stream. I'll stream it. We need to play on PC though, Steve. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
You'll be okay. I believe in you.
I mean, it's not fine, but it's fine.
It'll be on. I can tell you, contractually obligated to the CMF to put Sentience on a PlayStation console, and maybe, who knows? Definitely didn't hear it here. There is a PlayStation 5 development kit at our studio, so it does not look anything like the PlayStation 5 sitting under my TV. But you didn't hear that.
Does it look like the V thing?
No, that was allegedly the first round, because that is a real PS5 dev kit, but that's not the one that I saw allegedly.
So what does it look like? Does it just look like a PC?
Yeah, it's just a box. It's just like a white box.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
They should have just done that for the system, to be perfectly honest.
They should. It's so weird. I want to talk about Buttgate, Steve. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. It's coming out May 17th, I think. They announced the date recently, and a bunch of people are gushing over the screenshots. And 3Cree in our Discord was reminiscing about how they had to change everything to make the one level in one of the screenshots fit in the memory of an Xbox 360. That's cool, just listening to someone talk about making Mass Effect. I enjoy that. I said it before, 3Crane, if you're listening, I don't know if you listen to the podcast, write a book. I'll buy it. I'll read it. Mass Effect Legendary Edition is changing a lot of things, Steve. One of the things that's changing, for those of you who played Mass Effect 2, which I think is the one you played, right?
Yeah.
At several points throughout that game, when you go into the room to talk to Miranda, a character who's like this genetically engineered to be like the most aesthetically pleasing super killer soldier trope, the camera would just like the left half of the screen is her butt, and the right half of the screen is like pointed up at Shepard, so he's talking to her, and like that would be the camera angle for your conversations with her. It was stupid. They're changing that because it's stupid, and they recognize that. And gamers lost their shit because gamers are the worst. And I want and here, Steve, this is all I want to bring up, and then I want to know what you think about this. Gamers don't understand the definition of the word censorship. Censorship is when the government prevents you from speaking, stops you from saying something. That's censorship. A company deciding to change something the company owns because the company wants to is not censorship. No one can censor Electronic Arts or BioWare or the team remastering this game. That's not censorship. Censorship is when the Chinese government blocks out certain words on the Chinese internet and you can't find them or tweet about them or they arrest you. That's censorship. Changing stupid camera angles in stupid video games is not censorship. And it's very funny to me that the developers are on Twitter talking about this. This is an exact quote from one of the narrative designers, Mass Effect 2. The shots, quote, the shots being changed were dumb as fuck at the time. And I couldn't say it better myself. And I think if the team wants to do this, I think it just makes the game just slightly less cringe-inducing in 2021. And this is like a bullet note on a whole bunch of things they're changing. It's a good thing.
Really?
Yeah.
What else are they changing?
Narratively, not sure. But like I meant changing, like they've completely redone Mass Effect 1. It's not even the same game mechanically.
Yeah, I heard that.
Really.
Because I guess apparently I didn't play Mass Effect 1, right? Apparently it was just like a buggy.
It was bad, man. I played it in the Mass Effect trilogy when it came to 360, and it was a slog, man. I don't like RPGs on the best days, but like there were weapons you could only do. You have to create your character, your Shepard at the beginning, and depending on what class you create, there's certain weapons you can use and can't use, and they're just scrapping all that. It's essentially works functionally almost the same as Mass Effect 3 now. And I think that's for the best, because Mass Effect 3 had the best combat, in my opinion.
And I know they're getting rid of the multiplayer stuff. And then I also heard that they're getting rid of one of the DLCs for the first one because it wasn't done by BioWare, and the company that did it like lost the source code or something like that, or it's corrupted. So they're like, if we got to remake this random like DLC, it would take us like 6 months or something like that.
What do you think about Gate, Steve?
Yeah, people getting upset over it is dumb because it's like you said, it's not censorship. It's just like it doesn't add anything to the dialogue. It's just objectifying her, and there's like no real like point to that. I don't really remember it to be perfectly honest, but it's been so long since I played it because I just played it the one time and then didn't move on. I also don't really have this fascination with like digital asses, I guess. And I saw the arguments like it's M-rated game, blah blah blah, but it's like that's not the point. Like it's just it adds nothing, and it's just very cringy and very just like stupid and childish.
The developers want to do this. If anything's as close to the true definition of censorship, it's people trying to stop artists from doing what they want to do with their art.
Which isn't what happened with Mass Effect 3's ending.
Yeah, that was more like EA responding to a big PR thing, and I like the ending. It's fine. It's the journey, not the destination, Steve. Everyone losing their mind about that. Like, endings are so hard when it comes to those things. Endings are hard. If you play across all three games, like 40 hours each was my runtime on average. 100 hours of a game, and the last scene isn't what you wanted, and it's all ruined. You're a baby.
Fair.
Anyway, I'm excited for Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Steve.
Me too.
I want to play through.
I'm excited. I saw I can pre-order it now too. So.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like $80 to me because $80 is what I paid for the actual. Was the original trilogy that came out on 360? I don't think it was full price actually. On 360, it was like.
But did they redo? Did they redo like because there's kind of new. There's new work going into this, I guess.
Yeah, but that's not like after Tony Hawk comes out with 2 amazing remasters on one disc of old games for $50. Like EA. But
this is 3 games. So when would you think it'd be if you say $25 each, right? Wouldn't it be $80? Like I don't know. I don't think the price is really that atrocious.
It should be a $39.99 game for sure.
$40?
Yeah, no. Absolutely.
For all 3?
For all 3 Mass Effect games, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think any of these. Like I'm trying to think what other game. Like Sly Cooper Collection. What was that? That was 3 games.
How much was it?
PS3. What about? Because I know God of War one was like $40 or $50.
Yeah, but that was like. That was a lot of games, though. I have the God of War. It's like 6 games because it's the 2 PSP ones: God of War 1, God of War 2, God of War 3.
Oh, but the original one was just like 1 and 2 when they ported it to PS3.
Well, on Amazon, the Sly trilogy is $64, and that's too much for that.
Play on PS Now.
All AAA games are too much money, and are only getting more expensive.
I mean, these games are like 100 hours, so like, and it's like the thing is like. We've talked about this, right? If you don't like the price, just don't buy it and just wait for the sale.
Well, Steve, I'm gunning for a code to check this out, and in lieu of that, I will definitely wait to pick it up. That's what I do with Nintendo games. The only Nintendo games I bought new in the past like 5 years was Breath of the Wild and Animal Crossing. The rest, and I played a bunch of Nintendo games in those years. I just buy them on Marketplace because Nintendo prices are stupid.
They are stupid. I'm tempted by the 3D Mario Land because that's like one of the best Mario games ever.
It's pretty good. It's a contender, Steve.
But at the same time, I don't want to fucking pay $90 for it.
At this point, it's unethical to buy Nintendo games new. That's a joke.
Especially the Wii U ports. Anyways.
Let's move on to Wishlist This, Steve. For those of you who don't know, this segment was inspired by Steve and Brett's frequent wishlisting of games while we were talking about them when I started on this show, so many moons ago. So now I decided every episode I'm going to pick 3 games. Steve's got to add them to his wishlist right now. Because every developer on Steam is beholden to the almighty algorithm that decides whether you pay rent or go out on the street and starve to death. No, that's a bit extreme. First, Steve. Spectre from Symbiosis Games in Toronto, Ontario. It's releasing in 2021, allegedly. You can wishlist it on Steam. Quote, Employ stealth tactics as the Spectres, or defend your objectives as the heavily armed Reapers in this thrilling, teamwork-driven, multiplayer action experience. No gifts in the stream description, but that's okay, they got time. Steve, talk to me. Look at this trailer. Look at these screenshots. I'm getting horror. I'm getting, you know what? The guys climbing around kind of give me like Splinter Cell vibes.
Yeah. I mean, even near the end of the trailer, he has like the lights, like the three little
lights on the eye.
Lights. Yeah. Which is basically Sam Fisher. Mm-hmm. Except now there's two of them instead of just one set.
The Spectres are the spy guys, I think. I don't see a screenshot of the Reapers. A well-financed private military group. Most skilled combatants consist of U.S. experience, yada yada.
Did you ever play the multiplayer Splinter Cell stuff?
Yeah, it's great. I loved Spies. I didn't like being the guys in the ground.
Spies versus mercenaries or whatever?
Yeah. So in this, it looks like the Spectres are the spies, Reapers are the mercenaries, because they're like heavily armed, close quarters combat, kind of on the ground ones, and the Spectres are like climbing on the ceiling upside down and stuff.
Yeah. This looks awesome. I miss stealth games. There's not really that many stealth games nowadays.
It's hard. It's a hard genre. It's so hard to make a good stealth game, Steve.
Probably.
Games are so hard. Stealth games, some of the hardest of them all.
I love the lighting though. Looking at this, like the lighting looks really fucking good.
It does. Would you be?
Which is key.
Would you play with me, Steve? We'll be Spectres, and we'll mess up some kids online.
Yeah, hell's yeah.
Excellent. I gotta ask Steve: is Spectres from Toronto-based Symbiosis Games on your Steam wishlist?
Yes, it is.
Excellent. Next game today on Wishlist This, Steve. I got The Cure by Once Upon a Time Studio and QWERTY Studio, both based in Quebec. It's releasing soon. Wishlist it now on Steam. Quote, an open-world strategy game set in a dark medieval fantasy environment. You can buy and place buildings. You must manage your resources to upgrade them, and every night you are attacked by creatures. Steve, this game currently has a demo up right now, as they are part of the Game Festival thing. Wait, no, they're not. They were part of that Quebec thing, and they had a demo. I don't think it's still there.
Oh yeah, I was going to say I'm not seeing a demo. Do see a Q1 2021 release date though. So
we are in Q1 2021.
We're almost halfway through Q1 21.
Good Lord, Steve! It's in early access. It's going to be in early access till the end of 2021, depending on feedback. Why early access? Because they want to do better with player feedback and want to be appreciated upon release, reaching the community's expectations. What do you think, Steve?
Mysterious disease is spreading every night. Find a cure to the Noctis fever at all costs. Those are the king's orders. That's saying a little close to home, I think. This looks sweet, though. Is it multiplayer is what I'm kind of curious about. I like the idea of you and I trying to survive, but I'm not seeing that.
Early access RTS open world survival crafting. It says single player, but Steam is still learning about this game.
That's fair. No, it does look sweet, though. I guess it's like... I'm kind of getting the like a non-cartoony vibe of what the hell is the clay game?
Don't Starve. You're building
because doesn't shit come out at night in that game?
Yes,
and you gotta like build a fire and shit.
It's based like dark times is bad times. Have fire built. Yeah. Have walls. Have stuff ready to fight.
Yeah, so I'm down.
You're down. Are you down enough to add The Cure? From Quebec-based QWERTY Studio. Oh, well, you didn't even let me ask the question. That's fine. Ask the question. On your Steam wishlist?
Yes.
Excellent. Last game today for Wishlist This is Été by Impossible in Montreal,
I was waiting for you to try to pronounce this one.
Releasing to be determined. It's available now on Steam to add to your wishlist. Quote, fill in a blank can. This one doesn't deserve it, Steve. It's too pretty. I'm going to do it just normally. It's too pretty for that. Fill a blank canvas with vivid memories as you explore the summer with paint, music, and photographs. Wander into open city scenes, discover secrets, and meet charming characters as you unfold an immersive world filled with everyday wonders. I'm getting Unfinished Swan, but in color.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, same.
And it looks beautiful. It looks to me like one of the main mechanics There's no trailer yet, but it looks like you take a photo and then everything in that photo colors in, but everything around it is white and sort of just outlines or shadows of whatever the physical object is. It's first-person 3D game. But yeah, big Unfinished Swan vibes, big watercolor vibes in a lot of these like skyboxes. And then as you fill in the color, it looks like it sort of like pushes. It looks very like wet when it like pushes to the edges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think?
As a bullet point, relaxing, no combat, no puzzle, no challenge, no failure. Explore at your own pace. I like that.
I need that sometimes, man.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a game. The art is like gorgeous. So
more like this game, Horizon Zero Dawn, Red Dead Redemption 2, Ori and the Will of the Wisp. No.
By the way, when I try to search this in Steam, it's ETE. It's like how you would type it. It doesn't come up in the top 5, so I actually had to like search it or whatever. Just as a FYI for people trying to find it. ETE is how.
Yeah, but there's like the little French thing above each. It's ete, Steve. It's to be, isn't it? Isn't that a conjugation of to be? Oh no, ete is French for summer. Oh,
that works. That makes sense.
That does make sense. Yeah. I gotta ask Steve: is ete from Impossible Devs in Montreal on your Steam wish list?
Yes, it is.
Excellent. That's it for Wishlist this week. If you want to get your game on the show, we want to talk about your game. We want people to wishlist your game. We want your game to do well. You can send it to us, contact@CanadianGameDevs.com, tweet at us @CanadianGameDevs. I got a couple weeks worth I've collected on this document we use, but I'll put out a tweet sometime in the next couple weeks, like reply to this while you're working on, so I can get more Steam pages. Feed the content machine, Steve. What did we talk about on Discord this week? We kind of talked a bit about the Mass Effect stuff. I love talking to 3Creen about his work on it and the challenges and his speculation about if he had been on the Dragon Age team after Mass Effect 1 instead of the Revolver game that got canceled. It's interesting listening to developers who've been in the industry for decades now, I guess, talk about their paths and like what would have been. So if you want to have conversations like that, also join our Discord, top of the show notes. Anything else in the discussion stick out to you this week, Steve?
No, Game Stonk was discussed. We're all competing against on the New York Times mini crossword puzzle.
Yes, I need to make a channel at this point. They're right. Like 3 people at this point have like, you should just make a channel for this instead of putting it in general, and they're right. So I should do that.
Do it.
Yeah. I love the crossword, Steve. Saturday is the hardest one. I have it queued up. I'm ready. Like as soon as this is done, I'm going to do the Saturday is the biggest one. The hardest one every week for the mini. It's my favorite one.
Yeah, usually what I do is every time I go on, I hit the reveal thing so that like if I type out the word correctly, it will tell me or whatever, like the letters.
Yeah, it'll tell you with like a red X through it if it's wrong or blue.
Yeah, and then I start typing, and then basically if I go through like kind of 2 rounds of like going across and down and then across and down. If I can't get it, then I just close it. Like, all right, I'm done.
There's no like real rules in our little competition. I look at the crosswords as an opportunity to like learn cool random little bits of trivia. Yeah. So come play come play that with us.
Nothing major in Discord. A lot of stuff we kind of already talked about. I think you posted about that Quantic. Oh yeah, because Quantic Dream opened a Quebec studio.
Oh yeah, that was news.
And
why didn't I talk about that in the news?
I don't know. Well, you do hate David Cage and Quantic Dream.
Quantic Dream is in many ways like inseparable from David Cage as the CEO and founder and director. They're allegedly a terrible place to work, especially if you're a woman.
Yeah, they've had their own issues with harassment and stuff like that. And I think now Elliot Page also like
sued. They settled with them. Yeah.
So, I mean, where are they originally? Like in France?
France, yeah, and they're opening a studio in Montreal.
So I mean, I guess we'll keep an eye on that.
Something about French game studios, Steve. I'll just put it out there.
Well, Ubisoft. Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Well, Scavengers, Ubisoft, Quantic Dream. Yeah.
Well, last of the Naughty Dog. You said, didn't you?
Naughty Dog's
It's not French.
No. Well, that's more. I've read a few. There's 2 or 3 developers who say they were forced to sign things, so they couldn't talk about different assault experiences there. And man, games are so stupid, Steve. Why are we doing this to like people? These are people making toys for other people, and they're getting like abused. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I still blame tech. I think it's like a tech issue.
Or Steve, you want to go one level on the pyramid above that? It's a capitalism thing, Steve.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Abuse of the worker is core to the capitalist experience. Separating the worker from the value of the labor they create, giving them a penance in return.
Don't you always have managers though, even under like socialism?
Well, someone's got to make some decisions. Someone's got to.
Yeah. So when
we can make decisions more democratically, though. Think about it this way, Steve. We democratically elect our government to decide what to do with our tax dollars. That's essentially what they do. Our tax dollars, for me, at the lowest rung, is a very small amount of money. It's not a whole lot. But we all decided that the people who should choose how to spend that money should be democratically elected because it's our money. The vast majority of the value I generate, the value I put into the economy is, especially when I worked in restaurants, just taken from me, and I have no say about what happens to it at all. Like roughly like probably 90 to 80% of the value I've created over my life just got taken out of my pocket, and I didn't get any say or what happened to it. How did we decide the small percent we give to the government, we should all have a say in how it's spent? And the vast majority of all the wealth we generate as workers, we have no say over what happens to it. How does that make any sense?
I don't know. I remember I asked my dad one time, like when I was 20, 21, before I kind of started working, and I knew nothing about taxes because they don't teach that in school for some stupid fucking reason. And because I didn't even know about like tax rates and stuff, like how, like I it was back in the day when if you made 50,000 and your marginal tax rate was like 30%, you're like, oh, you pay 30%, but no, it's just like everything over 40,000 you pay 30%, and then everything under 40,000 it's like 27% or whatever it is. I remember just asking my dad, I was just like how does this shit work? And he's just like his quota was roughly you make A, you spend B, and A minus B goes to the government. I'm like, all right, well, great. So that's basically, I don't know. I don't have an answer. Like I've said, we've talked about this privately. I am not much of a doer. I will ride the coattails of whatever revolution happens as long as Sophia is safe and taken care of. So I will let other stronger, more passionate people take over because I'm pretty ho-hum about a lot of things in life. And I usually just let things be handled by other people. So I will let you and others take this forward, and I will attach myself to the winner. Like those how in the sharks, how there's the little fish that just attach themselves to the shark.
Yeah, it's a symbiotic relationship, Steve.
Yeah, I'm like that. You could be the shark, and I'll attach myself to you, and we'll benefit. And as long as Sophia's taken care of, man, I don't care what happens to me. As long as Sophia's good, I'm good. So I don't have an answer for you because
I don't have an answer either. I just point out problems. I just point out problems. Actually, I have some answers, and you should join our politics Discord and chat with me and Dragon Slumber and Blake and others about that. All right, Steve, what did you play this past week?
What did I play? Concrete Genie, which I'll platinum probably in the next time I play. Like I just have like an hour, like just a few more collectibles and stuff. But did you play this?
Yeah, Tori and I started it together. Actually, we got like 2 or 3 like worlds, like little sections in. Yeah, we did the first lighthouse area and then like 2 or 3 after that.
Yeah, I'm not crazy. It's fine. Like it's fine. I remember like when this game came out though, people were like, "Oh, it's amazing. It's about bullying. It's like
it's about
beautiful.
bullying.
It's game of the year, etc." Like I feel like I saw that a lot, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's fine, I guess. Like it doesn't really push the boundaries on anything. Like the story is fine. It's cute. The painting, the color is like pretty cool.
It's
but,
pretty.
Like,
it's a pretty game.
Yeah, it's a pretty game. There's nothing wrong with it. but it's not like I feel like a lot of people on my Twitter thread were like, "Oh, this is a game of the year. Like you guys like you'll love this, blah blah." And I'm like, it's okay. If I paid like I don't know what was I don't know what it was. I think it was like 40 or 50 at launch, depending if you got the VR mode. I feel like I would have been disappointed if I did that. I don't know. It's like it's fine, I guess.
Yeah, I would agree from what I played anyway. It felt like
it actually gets like a little like after that it gets a lot faster, and it feels like Infamous when you're. I don't want to spoil it, but like there's just a certain part of Infamous that feels like part of this game, and like the like there's randomly like parkour climbing stuff,
parkour,
but you know what I mean, parkour. And the whole time I was playing, I was just like, "Fuck! Why isn't there a new Infamous game? Like, how did they not port those things over to PS4 or PS5 at the very least? Like, goddamn."
Yeah, is superheroes a fun video game genre, Steve?
Yeah, that and Resistance are like the two, like they're like the only two games that are left stranded on PS3. Like everything else, they've kind of like ported over or just like re-released or whatever, or even and like I think they're on PS now, but it's just like I want to get the trophies again. I'd love to play Infamous 1 again, mostly just to see how it holds up, but also I think it had the best story. But anyways, and then Destruction All Stars, the other.
Oh yeah, I downloaded it, Steve. It's ready.
All right, cool. It's like. It's a fun game, and it's like pretty sound in terms of just the mechanics and stuff. But it's just like I had like similar to like Fall Guys and Rocket League. Like I had network issues. Two of them, like if you're playing multiplayer, there's only like with a buddy, like there's only 2 modes available, and like the one mode that has like parts of the map like collapsing is not one of them, which is my favorite part. So like playing in a party is pretty limited, which is weird. And there's just like a few weird things like that. Also, the like you level up and you get like the money or whatever, but you get so little, and it's clear that they're trying to guide you to the microtransactions. Like
hate that.
Like, it's a little I don't know. Like I don't know if it's like it's a little like unsettling because also like the single player like story stuff that dives into the characters. Like the first one's free, but all the other ones cost like premium currency, which is weird because this game technically is a free like a full $90 release. Like it's free on PlayStation Plus, but that's just for this month. So it feels a little kind of grabby, but the game itself like is fun. I think it's going to be like one of those things where I'm like kind of like Worms Battleground or whatever it was. Like I had fun for like 5, 6, 7 hours, and then now I'm just kind of, and then afterwards I'll be like kind of done with it. So it's fine, but I didn't really. What else did I didn't really play much. Star Renegades I played last week, but I didn't dive back into it, so I don't think I really played much new. What I have been playing a lot because Sophia loves is Animal Crossing, so I've got back into that. But
Carnival's coming up, Steve.
Yeah, the 15th or something. I bought some balloon or some shit for it. I don't really. Whatever. I just play it for her, to be perfectly honest. I don't really. She just loves it though. She goes nuts.
Do it for her. It's The Simpsons.
Yeah. Exactly. So I didn't really play much this week. What about you?
Still playing Horizon. I'm waiting to do the story with Tori. So when she's not around, I just do side stuff. And I filled in the entire map, done every side quest that's like at my level because the rest of them they just one hit me. And yeah, sometimes this weekend I'm gonna sit down and play through more of the story with Tori. But I made my opinion on weird number gated RPGs last week, and Aaron said in the Discord he found my strategy for just buying the skills left to right, top to bottom, humorous. So I'm glad I could bring some joy to your podcast listening experience. I think Horizon is a lot like is very different than Killzone games, which was what Guerrilla did before. And so if the jump from Horizon like 1 to 2 is the same jump in tech that a lot of my favorite games had, like the tech from Sly 1 to Sly 2 was mind-blowing, especially as a kid. And you look at it now and it's so noticeable. And then like Assassin's Creed 1 to 2, Far Cry 1 to 2, Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask let you do something different with it. I don't think Sony will do something different with it in that way, but the sequel always has more potential than the first in a lot of ways because of how games and tools are developed. So if anything, playing Horizon has me now just a little bit interested in Forbidden West or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I think it's still going to be like an RPG though or whatever. Right?
I'm assuming. Yeah, that's why I don't think they'll. We don't know anything about it other than they're going to the West Coast of the US now. But I'm assuming it'll have to function because of the way Sony sequels usually work. They don't try to stray too much like Nintendo shakes things up with sequels sometimes. That sequels that use the same tech, I want to say specifically. So like Ocarina to Majora's Mask. I think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be very different than Breath of the Wild 1 in a way that I think might upset everyone who it's their first Zelda game, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah. You're excited about everyone getting upset?
Yeah, because you need to play different things. Like, the open world genre is so boring to me now, and this is very much a me issue as someone who played way too many open world games in a short amount of time in like my decade or two playing games so far, that I got burnt on them really fast. So you do need to do, or I look for open world games that do something really different. And like if you're a normal person who plays like 1 or 2 games a year, and the one game you played in 2017 was Horizon Zero Dawn, I think it would of course hit way different than it did for me when I played it, and I was like, oh, Breath of the Wild comes out in a couple weeks, so I'm just gonna get that because I play like 2 AAA games a month because I'm a freak.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely like actually sitting down and playing it, I'm like, okay, they could do something really different and cool with Forbidden West. I don't think they will, but I think it could be the jump in improvement. And sort of Horizon doesn't feel good to me. Like, there's a lot of situations where I'm trying to, you jump straight up in the air, and I'm like, I should grab this. Why can't I grab this? And, you know, especially after playing Spider-Man is just being able to grab anything and walk around it is really ruining a lot of other open world games for me. And I think that's why I landed with Breath of the Wild way more than Horizon. Because in Breath of the Wild, like, I'm going to run at this thing and just climb till I pass out. And in Horizon, it's like, oh, I can't. Yeah, Horizon 2 might be good. Probably will just be more Horizon, but smaller load times.
Are you excited for Resident Evil 8?
Yes, actually I am. I like that demo, Steve.
I was kind of excited for... Yeah, the demo was good, actually. I had a good time with that. I still just rather have the over-the-shoulder look, personally.
I understand.
But it is what it is.
I like first-person horror, and I like Resident Evil 7, so...
Yeah, that's fair. On the docket, though, you know, we got to play some Rogue Star Rescue. I want to play some more. I want to play some more Star Renegades.
You got to play for Broxia 2 on Switch.
Broxia 2. Oh, that's right. That came out. We should have said that in the news too.
I thought it was coming out. Oh, you're right.
I think it's out because maybe not. It's soon.
Soon.
Not now, but.
Steam and Switch.
Broxia 2. I'm excited to dive into that. So there's a few things on the docket. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I did pick up too? I picked up Fitness Boxing 2 on the Switch. Which is
the hot anticipated sequel to Fitness Boxing.
I know. They're the same price too, those bastards. I was like, like there's no point in buying the first one. Like, because if they just lowered the price even by $5, everyone people would
just buy the first one.
First one, same game. You can transfer your saves over though. It's legit, but just like everything else with workout, right? You gotta keep at it. Like if you do it once a week, that's like there's no point. But it's pretty legit. Like I'm bringing up a good storm, and it's like it's less annoying to get into and less like fluff and bullshit than Ring Fit Adventure. You know what I mean? Like there's Ring Fit had tried to do a story and all that stuff and like syncing and all that crap with the Joy-Con and whatnot. So it's pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, it's really all I played this week.
And that's it for this episode of the CanadianGameDevs.com podcast.
Yeah.
Episode 176, Steve. We gotta do something big for 200? That'll happen this year.
What? Do we? I
don't know. Let us know what you think.
What do we do?
I don't know. We should do like top 10 Canadian games ever or something. I don't know.
Ooh.
Idea?
All right. Top 200 Canadian games.
Ooh. No. If you want to help us keep the site running and cover the Canadian game dev scene, you can support us over on patreon.com/Canadian Game Devs. Back us there for 2-day early access to the podcast, discounts for Canadian gaming events, game key giveaways, and if you back us at the $5 tier, credited patron or higher, we'll put your name at the end of every episode like these lovely folks. Thank you so much, Aaron McLeod, Canuck Play, David Winter, David Nagy, Eric Beer, Elizabeth Avery, Hanel, Jean Leggett, Jeff Shepstone, Jeffrey Canham, Kai Hutchins, Nicholas A. Zorko, Nav from the Academy of Games, Pixelnots_Alex, Sean Hayden, and Stacey H. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, drop us a review. It's just down there. Just pull the screen up a little bit. You'll see it. We'd love your feedback, good and bad. And if you're not on Apple and want to let us know what you think, contact at CanadianGameDevs.com. Thanks for joining me, Steve. By this time next week, you'll either be 0 for 3 in football game predictions or 1 for 3. I'm pulling for 1 for 3.
I'm just, as a heads up, next weekend recording will be difficult because of moving and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
worst case, I ask Sebastian if he'll come back, returning champion.
Yeah, let's find out about that Gearbox.
Let's get Sebastian and Dell back on here. They were great. That was a good episode. That was the first episode of Wishlist This. We learned.
Oh, that's right. Didn't because Gearbox got bought this week too, right?
They did. They got purchased by a Swedish conglomerate.
I know. I was I was like, holy fuck, Tencent again. Because I guess it's sort of related because there's Gearbox Quebec, right?
There's Gearbox Quebec. Don't Nod got bought
some
too.
Other company.
Lots of acquisitions.
How do we get bought out? We should just. How do we sell?
Sell out? I don't know, man. We'll work on it.
Technically, I guess someone did try to buy us out earlier.
They did.
Last year.
We never talked about that on the podcast, but they lowballed Steve, and he said no. And then we were like, we should make this a joint thing, and now it is. So
that's right. Official. All right. Anyways.
Cash money at CanadianGameDevs.com. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.
Bye. To me, old age is always 10 years older than I am. That's a good one. I like that.
No, Steve, because you're old.
No, see, stop it. No.